you actually hear me, I'm sure it'll be okay.
You want us to test the stream to see if we hear you? I hear you here.
I'm sure it'll be okay, but I'm just no video of me. I'll stick a wee thing there.
Stick a wee thing in there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
How wee is it? No, never mind.
Oh, wee. It just got quiet.
Kind of weird.
Oh.
Oh wow! Episode 600. How far away are we?
No, we're not.
It's impressive.
Impressive.
It is until you see, you listen to some of the shows and you're like, yeah.
It's impressive. It's fucking super impressive.
Yeah, because lag never made it that far, so
No.
Did
Yeah.
you guys get past 200?
No. Lag?
probably not. No.
Yeah.
You know what? I have them all here, like on my hard drive. I think
You
we
all
got
have it.
around.
Victory's achieved. Victory's achieved.
Okay. Hear that?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's get
Ta.
this thing over here. Let's press that button there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
Sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 589 of your Overseas Connection podcast. Today is July 26th, 2020. We are broadcasting live. 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. in the West Coast, 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. Central Time Zones. If you are around and you want to listen to some video game talk, some life talk, mostly video game talk, we're here for you. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We used to be on Mixer. Wah, 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 wah. My own sound effects, people. Look, my name's Greg. Gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Sitting on his ass all day, Robin Tate spinning the decks for us today. Thank you, Robin.
Hello. You don't see the people that are watching this. You're privileged tonight. You're not seeing my face. Wonderful. Hi, it's here. What an exciting week. It's sort of E3 without being E3. So yeah, it's the start of it all. So it's great to be on the show. Great to see the people's faces here. It's wonderful. And yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm being flat today. So yeah, great. Let's get on with it.
All right, let's get on with it. Indeed. Also on the podcast today, looking rather ginger with a robust full beard today. No glasses on, though. We have the lovely peanut
Magic
dust
8-Ball.
sniffing Pete Chin on the podcast. Pete.
Oh, what an introduction! Hello.
Yeah, Pete, talk to me about peanut dust, please. What's happening there?
In the t-shirt tonight, it's got peanut dust on it. There's a show in the UK that first aired in 2012. It's called People Just Do Nothing, and there's a character off that called Chabuddy G, and one of his ideas, because he's a bit of a flyby guy, a bit like is it Del Trotter from Only Fools and Horses. He likes to sell dodgy stuff, and he decided to create this idea of selling peanut dust. So all the stuff that you get at the bottom of the peanuts, normally when you have a pack, he ended up deciding to pack all of that into a full packet, and yeah, he did terrible with it. But you need to watch that show. People Just Do Nothing. If you like UK comedy and all that, yeah, all of our humour, then that is totally a thing to watch. You've also got to like one. You've got to like grime music as well. If you can't tolerate that, then you won't watch it. Simple as. Anyway, I'm the Legit Chinny. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, looking forward to podcasting again with you guys this week.
Well, Pete, you are a regular host, so we really appreciate you being on the show. Speaking of regular host, Kim Wood's on the podcast today. Kim, fantastic to see you again. Thank you for being
Howdy,
here.
howdy. Thank you. Welcome to hell. It's like 1,000 degrees in the shade. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, if, I start like sweating profusely. Don't think anything of it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're hitting 99 tonight at between 5 and 6 p.m. It always drives me nuts that it gets the hottest like in the evening time. You'd think like noon when the sun is at its highest and it's beaming down, that would be the hottest. But no, it's always late in the evening for some dumb reason. But yeah, so
hence the gigantic, water jug thing here. So
filled with whiskey.
Yeah, I wish, but no, it's water. So God, can you imagine?
Disappointing,
I know.
but okay. That's
It'd
fine.
make the
Whatever.
fun of the show more interesting, but
Indeed. Anyway, and last but certainly not least, guest hosting tonight, Gary DeFelice. Gary, thank you for joining the show. Tell us about yourself. Who are you? Where do you come from?
Contrary
All that
to
good
belief, I am not 90, as was discussed last week. I think I'm about Greg's age, maybe younger, or I think we're the same age, but maybe you beat me in days. I don't remember.
Something like that.
And I am getting grumpier as I get older. As Adam Carolla says, I think hopefully I'll get to the point where I have basically FU money and I could just say stuff that I really feel.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. But I'm getting closer. Certainly a little more vocal than I used to be.
As you get older, though, you still can say that stuff. It doesn't stop people with no money for the record.
I just said to somebody, I'm like, I can't wait maybe like 15 more years and I could be that old guy that just says what he wants.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
You're kind of turning into that old guy already.
I am. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm
And Robin
practicing.
I'm definitely learning that in the
been
last
that guy.
few years. Yeah.
Yeah. We just have to practice now, Robin, and then we'll be in great shape when we hit 60. Hopefully I can retire at 60, but I know I won't.
Yes. So
Thanks for having me. Yes.
You're welcome to be on the show anytime, Gary. We know your time is extremely valuable and that you're constantly on the go during lockdown, so you can't possibly be doing anything else.
New York lockdown's interesting. We kind of went through it already, so things are rolling here.
Yes,
It's
we
been
know.
fun.
We saw the poster, Gary. We saw the poster. Yes, we know. New York came through it just fine. Celebrate.
Forget about the poster. Did you see the big, gigantic Close Encounters of the Third Kind mountain we made?
No, that I missed that.
That was Kumo's demo piece, wasn't it? That was
it was
the big
beautiful.
papier-mâché thing.
Yes.
All you needed was a little like a train set coming out of a tunnel and stuff like that there.
So, the worst part is there probably was some firm that probably got a contract for $50,000 to make that.
Probably.
Guarantee
Wasn't
it
my
happened.
firm.
Yeah, and some firm also was commissioned to do that poster.
Oh.
And they probably said at one point we're like, we should probably talk about all the people that died, and they're like, no, we shouldn't.
Oh, we don't want to talk about
Leave them off the poster. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about stuff real quickly. No birthdays, as far as I know. So if you have a birthday right now and we're missing it, sorry, but oh well. We need to know. Yeah, there you go. That's a little snippet of happy birthday for you, just in case. We covered our bases.
There's a new one we've used in the show last week. In the post edit, we put it in. I put it in. It's a gentleman on YouTube that I found singing "Happy Birthday" very, very badly. So enjoy that.
Very badly. Yeah.
From here on in.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like it.
It was Mark.
Moving forward. It was Mark singing "Happy Birthday."
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair play. All right. Here we go. Story time.
Hooray, story time. Hooray, story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
Hello,
right,
my
enough of that.
fellow podcast family.
Love you,
You
Mark.
are so proud of yourself.
Love you, Mark. Love you, Mark.
Yes, love to Mark. Real quick, we're going to keep this relatively short. because we got a big agenda on the games front. So
how short is it?
Yeah,
No, I'm
that's
just
what you said to me. Yeah.
and I followed through, Robin.
You did. You followed through all the way. Nearly broke me.
The toughest couple minutes of your life. All right, real quick, Pete.
Okay.
There was all kinds of stuff happening this week in terms of video game news, excitement, and yet you decided that you were going to be a good future husband.
Yeah. I'm getting married next year, April 16th, and
Never.
I've got to do stuff for it. So, yeah, I couldn't watch the show, Greg. I'm really, really sorry. Just
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to yourself that you have,
no, I'm not going to do it.
cheating yourself, Pete.
As far as gaming, I'm happy with the week I've had. But I'm continuing my fat lifestyle. I said last week, yeah, I'm going to get down press ups. And then my fat itself has said, fuck the press ups every single day. And I've not. So the pool doesn't open yet. It opens on the 1st of August. That's the official date now for the pool. So that's when my life changes. And then this week as well, I've been watching a TV season which we've blitzed. We've binged it all. It's called Cursed, and I don't know whether any of you have seen this. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You've
I
seen it?
haven't seen it, but I know which one you're talking about.
I've seen the ad for it, the little tile, but I haven't checked it out. What is it about, Pete?
Well, it's about witchery and swords and dark magic and there's different armies that are fighting against each other, all for this sword. And I'm not going to say any more because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was 10 episodes, real good, glued to all of them. You should give it a watch, and then maybe we'll talk about it in a few weeks. But yeah,
okay,
it's worth one.
Pete, giving me 2 shows this week. Come on, let's go.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, Pete, thank you for that. By the way, Pete, maybe we should just buy you a little blow up blow up pool, and you could just paddle in the pool, just paddle in place.
Greg, when I swim like for 2 miles, I swim 2 miles in like I don't know, an hour. I need length.
Don't we all?
Oh. Well, on that note, Kim, let's chat about the horse.
Yeah, I haven't been on here in a couple of weeks, so it was exciting there. What's it been, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? We had a horse get out, and I don't mean just, get out. He got out on the highway, as in traffic, the whole 9 yards, and at 1:30 in the morning. So, yeah, I'm laying here sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden I catch my answering machine go off, and I thought, well, that's strange. So I check my watch. It's 1:30. I go back, play the message. It's my sheriff's department. They're like, we got a report of a horse being out, and you're the only ones we know in that area with horses. And I'm like, oh, my God. Okay. So I go and wake up Dad, and I'm like, I think we've got a horse out. I'm trying not to barf all over my feet because my nerves are like shot because I'm thinking, the horse is out. It's on the highway. There's semis, cars, yada, yada, yada. Thankfully, Dad found him. He was halfway between here and town. So
he was going for a bar run.
He was, yeah, that's it.
Real Red Dead Redemption out there. Let's go.
Right. So anyway, he got him rounded up, and it all was fine and good. He got him rounded up about 2:00. The only thing was he didn't tell me he caught the horse, so I sat up till 4:00 in the morning thinking he was still out there catching horses. No, he was sitting down at the restaurant down the road talking to the sheriff's deputy that had come along to help. So, yeah, my nerves were shot. I got an hour and a half sleep that night. So, yeah, for that whole week, I was pretty much shot.
Now,
and
the big question to ask him.
Uh-huh.
So, who left the gate open?
Nobody did. The little asshole. We got electric fence up because the actual fence isn't very good, and money and time, whatever. Yada yada yada. Well, the weeds had grown up and hit the electric fence and shorted it out, and so he could jump over that. And then he found a low spot in the bad fence, and out he went. And the rest is history, as they say. So we went out, we got all that fixed. I replaced insulators and got a weed eater and knocked all the weeds down. And like I said, I walked probably about 2 miles worth of fence that day on an hour and a half sleep in like 90-some degree weather. So that was a good day. But I mean, other than that, like I said, the horse has been back in. That's been a couple weeks ago. He hasn't been out since. So knock on wood, we got him corralled. And yeah, it's all good. I'm back to working out regular. The soreness is all gone.
Nice.
It's another day. Yeah, and it's
puking.
Yeah.
Take
Good.
that, Pete Chin.
Should be
Uh-huh.
just pizzas. Just with me.
I still eat pizza and beer and ice cream and all the, you know.
Oh, dunked on. Look at that. Boom. All right. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Robin, let's talk about it. What's been going on?
A little tough week. I'll say it. Just get out of the way because it's on. It's in there. It's in there. So one of our foster kids has been up for adoption for a while now, since October of last year, and a little girl, Jasmine. You've heard me mention her before. We were well down that process, and the adoptive family have pulled out. Just there this week, and Jasmine doesn't know anything about it because she's 2, but we do, and it leaves uncertainty. And we've had her since birth, and now she's over 2 years old. And the longer she's with us, the harder it will be for her to transition. So that was a tough week, and I think Judith's taken it really, really bad because of the uncertainty of what was happening and stuff like that there. But maybe the right thing to do because these people weren't prepared to wait any longer. Yes, it's been longer than expected, but it was for the rest of their lives. And, well. Anyway, it'll work itself out, but I just wanted to share. It's been a tough week for us that way. But last night I did something. So up behind me...
I don't really want to hear about that, Robin.
That's
up behind me, I have a Woody. I know I'm not on camera, so you can't see my Woody right now. I have an Atari 2600 original Wood. It's from way back. I have it boxed. I have loads of cartridges for it. Okay, so I was sitting last night going through different, I don't know, Facebook shopping, whatever it is. And
Marketplace.
Yeah, Marketplace, that's it. Mm-hmm. And I came across a guy selling a Woody with 36 games and all the paddles and controllers. No box, mind you, but the 36 games really got me. But one game in particular got me. And I'm actually going to throw it up on the screen now. Hello, I should have had this ready, silly boy.
Aliens, Colonial Marines.
No, this is for an Atari 2600, and it's Halo. And it's called Halo 2600, and it's in a cartridge, which is kind of cool, very collectible. It was brought out in very, very small number, and this guy sort of put them in. He had got it into the cartridge. He worked on the original team that made Halo. Very, very small run. And if I bring it up here, of course, it looks pathetic. If you can see on the screen very shortly here now for you guys, that's a Halo ring, Halo 2600. And if we jump forward into the game here, it looks like a bit like Berserk, if you know the old game Berserk. And you are the little Master Chief running around, and you can only shoot left or right, or up and down. There's none the angle. It looks absolutely pathetic. More to the point, I'm buying this whole lot for silly money, as in too cheap. And even if I was to sell the games, I would be well into the money. I'd probably double my money. So I got in contact with him, threw a deposit down through PayPal, and I'll pick it up tomorrow evening. I'll probably sell a Woody, but it's the games, because it has all of the really good classic 2600 games. Some of them I'm missing, but this especially, this is a. And this is this Halo version. I don't know how I got it, but it is boxed, and it has a little certificate and everything with it. So I'm really chuffed with that.
I'm fearful this is going to leak, and people are going to start saying this compares to.
Yeah,
right.
Well, do you know what? It actually looks better than what they showed the other day, but we'll get to that shortly.
All right, awesome. Atari 2600, and for those, he talks about it being a Woody. It is not real wood. Just for the record. Yeah. Okay. Gary D. Felice. Host, guest, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. There's a lot going on the last couple of months. But I guess the biggest news in our house, my son finally graduated from high school this week after a month and a half of uncertainty and tight restrictions, and they still had tight restrictions. We were only allowed 150 people at the ceremony. So they had to break it up into, I think it was like 6 or 8 different ceremonies because you had 1 kid and 2 parents, class of 400. So that's done, and we can finally move on and get ready for my next guy who's a senior.
Right, but
and
but
send
you
this
were
guy
able
off
to
college.
But you were able to see him walk down the aisle with diploma, get the diploma, the cap and gown thing.
Yeah, it's a little different,
Awesome.
Smaller setting, you know.
Sure.
Our good friend was the valedictorian. He gave the speech, stuff like
Okay.
that. So it was really cool. It was hot, you know. It's the middle of July. We knew it was going to be hot, and it certainly has been hot for the last couple of weeks here.
Right.
And humid, but that's it. That's summer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you should have listened to your governor. He would have told you to go indoors, you know, and that would have been better, right?
Well, the key was we were going to do a fake protest because we could have hundreds of thousands of people, or tens of thousands anyway. But, you know, let's not go that way.
No, we won't go there.
I'm not
We won't
going down
go
that road.
No.
But I'll keep it short because we do have a lot of gaming to talk about. Apparently, there was some sort of show this week, right?
Something.
Apparently. All right. Thank you for that, Gary. For me, real quick, nothing major going on other than just life, just continuing forward. It is hot here as well, though. So apparently it's hot across the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a movie last night called Forbidden Kingdom. And this is one to totally not put on your watch list.
Oh, wow. That's a gay movie, isn't it?
No, not quite. Although you might make the case for that. It's with Jet Li and Jackie Chan. It's this bizarre kind of throwback to old kung fu movies.
Okay.
And it's about this kid that basically is given I want to call it a spear. It's not a spear, but anyway, he's given this this magical weapon. It transports him back in time. He's supposed to give it to the Monkey King. Can't make this stuff up. And there's all kinds of crazy like throwback kung fu in this movie, and for whatever and it's horribly bad. It's not good, but I could not stop watching it. It was just kind of like a palate cleansing, like silly. Let me watch this and just So there you go. Forbidden Kingdom.
It's
They
fun.
don't even Jet Li and Jackie Chan. They're like, you know, Jackie Chan's just more of a comedy type,
Right.
person. Whereas Jet Li, it's more like the Kill Bill version of kung fu.
So in
just don't know.
fairness, Jet Li was the Monkey King, who is like the ultimate kung fu master, and Jackie Chan plays a drunken master. He uses a drunken kung fu style. So he's constantly drinking and being drunk. There's some good humor. It felt like it was dubbed, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It was weird. It was like all of the lip sync more or less matched up, and the voices were all accurate. But I have a feeling this was actually made in like China or Korea, and what they ended up doing was they recorded the audio track separately, and they probably like kind of dubbed over the English with this. It's weird. It's again hard to describe. You have to watch it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, there you go.
Funny,
It's from China. I think Mark will watch it.
Probably.
Friends of ours had recommended that I watch Bad Boys. I've never seen Bad Boys. Okay,
Yeah.
so I put it on. So it's with
The Amazon Prime one.
Will Smith and
yeah.
Martin Lawrence, isn't it Martin Lawrence?
Yes.
So I watched it last night. It's pretty, I love his car and stuff like that there. And Will is very, very young. But I have to say, Tia Leone, isn't it? She is like the girl that's under threat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's in the Deep Impact. And then what's the White House one she's in at the moment as well? The Lady of the House or whatever it's called. Anyway, her legs are just the best thing about that whole movie. Just Tia Leone's legs is what Bad Boys is all about. I swear to you, I didn't realize. I heard her voice and I went, oh, I know that voice because she has this husky voice. And then legs. Just fantastic.
Brilliant, huh?
Just freaking awesome. Unbelievable. Check it out. Man or woman, you'll enjoy Tia Leone's legs in that movie. Anyway.
Well, I said the same thing about Halle Berry in Broken Arrow because that was a horrible movie, but she was a really good part of that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, All right, let's get into games, Robin. Let's dive right into it, if you would be so kind.
Okay, let's play some fucking games.
Mm.
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser.
There you are.
All right, games. So we are nearing the end of the month. We actually don't know what's coming up for next month in terms of the freebies, so we're not going to cover that. Instead, we'll dive into kind of what we have played, to try and speed run a little bit through that this past week. And then we will dive right into the actual Xbox showcase event that happened. We'll cover all the games that were announced both in the pre-show and in the actual event itself. So that being said, Gary, I always say age before beauty. So please start us off.
Scratch here. Yeah, I haven't played a game in 2 months, which is probably a good reason for me not being on the show as well. But I picked up Death Stranding, I think, a week ago on the PC.
Wait, I'm sorry, on PS4?
No, PC.
But it's a PS4 exclusive. It can't go on other systems.
It is breaking my friend. Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding. I'd love to see The Last of Us 2 come out on PC, but I'm not. I got my.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Yeah.
So I think I have to get on the PlayStation eventually. But yeah, I picked it up. I kept researching on it because, as you guys noted on the notes, future UPS sim. Right. I was afraid that it would be boring as hell, and I would just be driving around delivering stuff. And I've played 7 hours. It's probably half of that's been cutscenes, which can drive me crazy. But it is keeping my interest. I'm not getting bored with all the cutscenes. It's just sometimes you go into like different areas and you got to sit and wait, like go to the bathroom and do things, and you have to do that stuff because it's part of the storyline and helps him. But the game looks phenomenal. I'm playing it on the ultra wide monitor. It's Kojima weird. Especially in the beginning. I'm only in chapter 2. I forget how many chapters there are. So I'm just starting to get to the point where the world's going to open up for me. So I'm kind of still really following the storyline and things of that nature. But just, he's got a baby on his chest. There's weird animals. They call them TCs or PCs or something. I can't remember right now. BTs, excuse me, that can attack you. There's other guys that attack you. So I'm starting to navigate my way around. You're very weak right now, so there's not much you can do. Most of the stuff that I'm trying to do is really just avoid conflict, deliver packages, learn how to do balancing, build things, get motorcycles and stuff like that. So far, I really like it. I did a stupid thing today, typical old man, lousy gamer move. So you're working your way across the country and you got to go light these buildings up. So I got to this one spot and I had to go deliver a battery to some wind farm somewhere. And when I walked out, there was a bike there. So I went and I put the battery on the bike and the bike didn't start. And it said the battery has to be charged. I'm like, oh, okay. So I take off and I'm walking through and I keep seeing like this red flashing light back by where the bike was. I didn't think anything of it. And I go through these woods and it's really hard because there's just nasty creatures everywhere. And I'm sneaking around and I get through and I go to the delivery and I needed that battery that I put on the bike. So I had to go all the way back, get the battery, and then come back again. Just old man. I'm just...
Gary, have you checked out Norman in the shower yet?
Yeah, it shows fast. I don't see anything else. He looks really good. I mean, to rephrase that, the character rendering is very good.
Yes.
I need to stop you too. Is this an old man thing?
What, want to look at old men in showers?
Yeah.
No. They made a big point of it, saying that you could look at Norman Reedus in the shower, but you couldn't check out the front of Norman Reedus in the shower.
Well, I can't really see his ass either.
After seeing the exclusive showcase at EGX last year, I just felt like they should have just buried this with ET down in New Mexico, because It just looked. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I was afraid to get it, but so far, so good.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Well, we will transition from
I'll
so
report
far
back
so
in
good.
3 months.
Okay, I appreciate that. 3 month. That might be when you finish the game.
It could be.
Pete, we're going to shift over to you.
All right. Okay.
So far so good. Let's talk about so far so good. Alan Wake.
Yeah, Alan Wake. So
Wow.
Alan Wake was the last game of 10 years ago. I've just did play many games at all. I made a list, put it on Twitter, and I got a bunch. And Alan Wake was the last game to play. So I enjoyed it. It doesn't age well. The graphics remind me kind of.
It is a 360 game. Let's not forget.
I know, but you're playing others like Battlefield.
It's like trying to say an Atari 2600 game doesn't age well.
Do you know what it was? I think I played Last of Us 2 beforehand, and then to step into this game, I was just like, oh god, this is drastic.
Right.
So I think that was what the problem was. It just reminded me of
It's
like
on the screen now. I don't think it's still that bad. Really?
On my phone, it looks great, but that's because it's a really tiny screen.
yeah. Well, graphically, it doesn't age very well. It just felt like I was back playing GoldenEye in a different story setting. It just, yeah. Anyway, I thought it started off good. I thought the story was okay. Some of the battle along the whole of the game was a little bit repetitive. You got the same people that were coming along, and you found that you were short of ammo. You had to do a lot of ducking and diving and running in.
But did it do the thing that it did to most people? Well, me anyway. It's not scary as such. It's tense. It makes the hair sort of stand up on the back of your neck, even though you don't have any. But you know what I mean. Did it get that? Did you get that? Yeah.
Definitely. That's the thing that I found really good about it. I got gripped in the story, and I got that real intense feeling of shit. I need to get through this, and when you die, you're absolutely distraught. You got to get back through it again. I enjoyed it.
Good.
The thing that really disappointed me about this game is the end. I was like, I got to the end, and okay.
I don't remember that at all. It's something about the wife in a lake and something, and I don't know, somebody drowned or in the water or something.
The tornado house type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a house, and the wife gets like taken away, and he says that she was put into she was kidnapped, taken through the lake by some dark demon. But like later on in the game, he sacrifices himself, and I get that. You can see that he's sacrificing himself for his wife to live, and then he kind of comes out in whatever devilish world he's in, and he's like, it wasn't a lake, it was an ocean, and it just ended, and I was just like. I don't know. I didn't like the end. It just didn't really like close the story off so well. It kind of left it open for another.
Absolutely, and they didn't give you that.
No. So when I got to the end of that, and there was a spin-off, wasn't there? There was an American Nightmare.
American Nightmare, but it wasn't a. It was kind of a short story within that.
Right.
Yeah.
It helped, it's the intenseness and stuff made it a pleasure to play, but it didn't age well. I didn't like the ending, but there we go. I played it. I said I would, and I've got through the rest of all of my games now.
Very good. Well done. Fair play.
Yeah. So,
I think just real quickly, the Nerd Allegiance is complaining. Spoiler: this is a game from the Xbox 360. There is no need for spoiler warnings at this point. If you haven't played this game, shame on you. It's your own damn fault.
Yeah, because I'm going to be spoiling more as I go along. Because I'm going to be because somebody said like you should play games from 9 years ago. So I think I've played quite a few, but I'll pick a list and I'll start going through those. Maybe 5-10 games or whatever. But I've enjoyed doing that actually. It's just give me it's just something different. And I got a bit of.
You're playing the jams then, so that's really good.
I will say, Alan Wake, even though it does, it kind of ends it on this hint at a next game. It was not the worst offender of leaving things on a cliffhanger in the 360 era. The game Too Human literally ends on a giant Viking, giant, coming out, and it's like, to be continued.
Oh, and then
Never, ever to be continued.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that was horrible.
yeah, and
Anyway.
also,
That's
Woody's Roundup as well. From Toy Story. He never got to
Toy
the
Story.
last episode, and we
Total.
never got to find out what happened in that.
All right.
So we're going to somebody else.
Yeah, we'll swing it around. Robin,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Guns, Gore, Cannoli 2.
Yeah, I'm back at the Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I love my Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, and it's I don't know. Do you know what it is? Guns, Gore. I've talked about it the first one so much, and there, I'll just bring it up here on PC. It's PC. It's everywhere. It's this beautiful adult style cartoony zombie gangster shoot 'em up type thing with loads of crazy weapons, loads of crazy characters, great gameplay, quite humorous. The second one is just a little bit slicker. It's the same sort of idea. The gameplay hasn't changed terribly much, but I moved my Switch from out here into the house, into the big screen, because the kids have their own. Some twat from America brought them for Santa Claus.
What an asshole.
Asshole from doing people favors like that. Anyway, and I wasn't really getting use of mine, so I put it on the big screen yesterday and thought, oh goodness, I never finished this, so I got back to it again. And I was storming the beaches of Normandy. I was in my B-17 and it got shot down, and I parachuted into one of the landing vehicles, and I was climbing through zombie land and Normandies and Nazis, and I was fighting a zombie submarine. It's fun. It's fun.
It looks, it looks ice.
Yeah, so the gameplay is cool. So all the characters say, like the wee Nazi sergeant is, oh, I love this sergeant uniform, and some of the mobsters that you're fighting, because it's sort of Chicago. He's like the Chicago monster sort of voice. And he says, I'm just trying to make America great again. Just all this shit.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So it's a good fun game. The first one's really good. It's not much different than this, but they are excellent. They're not easy either. They're tough enough gameplay, but it's very, very good. I thoroughly recommend a little shooter like this. Again, not for kids, because the language is kind of rife in it. So there you go. That's Guns, Gore, Cannoli. I've also just went on and played some more South Park. The butthole, my butthole.
Yep,
my
the fractured butthole.
And it's good fun. It's funny. Again, more of the same.
Okay, excellent.
And that's what I've been up to.
All right. Well, on my end, I'm gonna real quickly just say I'm gonna skip over Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so don't worry about trying to bring anything up for that.
Okay.
I have been playing a lot of it, though, enjoying my time with it. That game, every time you think you're seeing the full scope of it, it seems to get bigger. It's crazy. So it is a much bigger game than even I first envisioned. So here's one thing I did this past week. They had this big Xbox gaming week where they had a bunch of demos out. And these are all free demos for you to check out. So I downloaded a number of little games to check them out. So I'll start with the good, and then we'll circle to Kim, and then we'll kind of come back to me for the bad. How's that? Does that make sense, Robin? More or less? No? Okay. Anyway, so on the good front, I tried 4 games that I actually enjoyed. Destroy All Humans. This is obviously a remake of the original 360. And it wasn't 360. I was going to say 360 game. It's actually an Xbox original game. It looks and plays really smoothly, and I don't recall it ever playing as well as it did in the new version. They did a lot on the graphics front. They really made this game look modern. Nice little touches too, like the back of the alien. He has 2 little like breathing valves on the back of him that kind of they'll flex a little bit opening and shutting as he's breathing.
Sorry, which
So-
game, which was this again? This is Destroy All Humans?
Destroy All Humans,
Oh.
yes.
Do you know what? I think everybody loved Destroy All Humans, but not many people actually played a lot of it. We played we all played a bit of it and loved it, but the game was a bit hard or a bit weird.
It was a bit janky in how it controlled. And so this felt really smooth. It's got me to the point where I'm almost tempted to purchase it. Because the graphical upgrade on it is really nice. It looks modern. It doesn't look like it's a piece of crap from yesteryears. So I highly recommend, if you are even the smallest bit interested, they have a demo out. Check it out. Destroy All Humans. Then I played a game called Gauntlet. It is a side-scrolling action platform game. Probably has a bit of Metroidvania to it, and that I think you will go back to areas that you couldn't access at first.
Is it like the original arcade Gauntlet? Is that what it is?
No, not at all.
Already was on this to come out.
Yeah, no. This is more like a superhero beat 'em up side scroller, kind of in the same vein as Guns Gore Cannoli, where you have the anthill side view, if you will, of your areas that you're exploring. You have power-ups to your gauntlet, because that's kind of your superpower. And it controls really good. That's, I think, the thing that I liked most about it. These are not usually my type of games, but it controls really well. So from that standpoint, I'm kind of like, maybe I this is something that I can keep an eye on when it actually comes out in full release, whenever that may be. The next on the good front was a game called Tesla Force. This is a top-down twin-stick shooter game. Pretty straightforward, small areas to fight in. You basically are part of this Tesla Force. It has a little bit of a steampunk vibe to it. You get different quests, if you will, on the map that you have to go and get. You have to get a tool or whatever. But along the way, you can get gear that will eventually unlock a mech that helps you open up. This, if you're talking about Gauntlet, reminds me more of Gauntlet than the old Gauntlet, that is, in that you'll have enemies coming at you, hording towards you from all different directions, and you're using different weapons and power-ups to fight them back. I believe it does support co-op play as well. Nice polished game, looks good. So could be something interesting down the road. And the last game on the good front, and then we'll get off from my side of it, was a game called Sailforth. This I really thought I was going to hate. It is a game that I don't know what the characters really are. You basically play, like a ship's captain, if you will. You pilot a ship. You can build a fleet, and it looks like there's cats.
Is that the right term, Greg? Is that the right pilot a ship? Is that the right term? Let's be accurate here.
Captain a ship.
No fake news.
However, in modern times, they do call it piloting the ship. So, in fairness, I have some of that right. Yeah, but you captain the ship. And it's they're sail ships. The controls of the ships are really good. Like, so in terms of the graphics, they have kind
forwards
of
and
a very
backwards and left and right.
No, you're using like the sail boom in terms of how you control. So the wind direction helps your boat go faster, go slower. It controls really nice. It's smooth. Graphically, it's not great, yet when you're playing the game, you kind of get a little caught up in it. So I don't know.
Did you play Skatebird? Because it looks
I did
brilliant.
not play. No, I did not play Skatebird.
A bird on a
I did not play
skateboard?
Skatebird.
And a skateboard?
No.
That kind of looks kind of
Unfortunately.
cool. I mean,
But
who,
yeah,
who doesn't
so-
like a bird on a skateboard?
No,
Right?
Probably the bird.
I'm not a
Kumo?
skateboard.
Probably Kumo.
I'm not a skateboard
It's not really
person.
chicken.
Just saying. Yeah. Anyway, so those games, I came out of it with positive vibes.
It's a
I was
nice thing
like,
they're doing.
okay,
I love
these
this.
were good. We'll circle back to some of the bad. Let's move over to Kim. Kim, let's talk Banner Saga.
Yeah.
Wow.
Banner. Right. Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. I haven't actually finished Banner Saga 2. So I noticed where Banner Saga 3 was going off Game Pass at the end of the month. So I thought, well, I better, get to it and get cracking. So I've started that back up again and realized I haven't played since like 2018. Oh dear. It's amazing what you can forget in that length of time from playing it. Because, I literally picked up the controller and I think I lost my first 2 battles because either I was supposed to and I wasn't supposed to win, or I'm just that rusty at what I'm doing. So, but yeah, it's good. I've jumped back into it. I'm learning the controls again and all that. And the story's still good, still plugging along. So hopefully before the year's out, I can get it finished and the third one. So I went ahead and bought it because I got 20% off because of Game Pass. So
apart from us, you mean Kim? Sorry, out of our
Mm-hmm.
group of us, have any else played this? Any of our group?
I dabbled a little in the original Banner Saga. I struggled to get on with it. It didn't grab me right away, but it should, in that it's a turn-based RPG. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that going for
James
it.
of
But
War has been around Kim for ages, isn't
Well, I'm suffering a little bit of Witcher burnout because I went through that and I still got the one big DLC to finish. So I needed to do something else for a while. So it was sitting there and Bongo kept going, well, it's a good thing you beat 2 in this. And I'm like, I haven't actually beat 2 yet. So, so here I am. I'm cleaning up my mess. So
what I'm hearing out of all this is it's Robin's fault.
Pretty much, yes.
Which Robin in turn will say it's all Mark's fault.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
I can take
I
it.
actually got the placement out on my birthday. That was my big thing for my birthday was I took most of the day off and I decided, you know what? I'm going to play some Xbox today because why not? So that's what I did.
All right. Excellent. Pete, you have quite a few additional games you've played. So what would you like to talk about first?
Well, there's only one really. The rest are just downloaded, ready to go. But Resident Evil 3, so the remake of that, I purchased it from the Smelly Shop some time ago, and I've just not got around to playing it. And Alan Wake kind of finished quite easily, so I thought I'll fire it up. I wish I'd have just left it.
Really?
You wish you had a what? Sorry.
Do you know what? I wish I'd have just left it of Resident Evil 3 back in 1999. Do you know what? The remake is so good that what they do with all the different the gameplay scenes and how they create a different. It's almost like you're playing. You've got parts of the same story, but in completely different environments, and they do remake it really, really well. But I should have just left it. I should have just left it there. I found the Nemesis a lot more intense and scary in the first one. Just chasing me around. I feel like it chases you around a lot more. It didn't feel like it was included that much into the game. The end though, the way they created the end boss with the remake was great. The Nemesis forms into all these different
Pete,
mutants.
Pete, do you have to stab dead bodies in case they get up again or something? Because the bit on the screen right now is this Tia Leona Leg person. She's killed these people and then she's went back and stabbed them all about 6 times.
Yeah. I did exactly the same thing because in number 3 when you play it back, the old one, they kind of come up after a couple of minutes from out of nowhere. So I found myself doing exactly the same thing, and to save on ammo, you didn't want to shoot them because when you shoot them in the head, they still come up and you still got to pop 3 bullets into them to drop them. So when you stab them while they're on the floor, you kill them a lot quicker. So that was one annoying thing that I wish that I just left with it. But yeah, that's something that you have to do. I thought it was great, and anybody who hasn't played the original and hasn't got a PS2 and can't even go there, then it's a great way of getting a feel of what the Resident Evil series is about. And it is really, really good. Pretty, it's well designed. The sound is probably the sound isn't great. I think they could have improved more on the gun sounds and how the shells drop and how the enemies are around you. I felt like it could have been a lot more improved. But on a whole, if somebody wants an insight into it, it's great.
Could you play this without playing any of the other ones? I've dabbled in some of them and tried to go back to them. And, no.
Yeah. If you wasn't so. If you wasn't so.
Jim's Crabs. A shop called Jim's Crabs in the video. Sorry. All right.
You could do. You can, yeah. I mean, I didn't play the number 2 remake. I said to myself, I'm going to leave it where it is, and I should have just left this one. Really, it was good. I won't buy any more if they've released 4 or whatever. Excuse me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna purchase them. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just checked my Steam library. My stepbrother has it, which means I can play it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, try it then. Give it a go.
Especially since it's free.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good price.
I don't think I'll buy another one if they do release it. But it took me how long to complete? It's about 7 hours, something like that, 8 hours.
Okay, so I just need to go back to this is the donut shop, right? So I want to go back into that donut shop again because
you don't want to go into the crab shop.
No.
What?
Where is the donut shop again? Where is she? She's inside.
Well, while trying to find it,
so
there's some great. There are some great jump scare moments in it. Right. Don't get me wrong. It's good. They really do ramp up the things that jump out at you, or dead bodies that drop from staircases right in front of your feet, and you're like, oh my life, it does going.
It's accurate. I have to give them props. I mean, they could have made like a donut shop with a counter with some donuts on it. But the 2 machines on the right-hand side of the screen here right now are called donut robots. So the bottom bit is like a where the oil goes. Usually, it goes in there. Usually a chain belt that goes along it. And the bowl bit on the right-hand side of these 2 machines is where the dough goes, and it drops down the little ring of dough, which goes along a conveyor belt and comes out at the end. So, correct. They've worked out what a proper donut shop is like. So I'm impressed.
Well, there you go. So the official OC podcast review: Resident Evil 3, not a great game, but donut shop accurate.
Just like Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad of a game, and I wish for Robin that there was an achievement where you could make a donut, but not there. It was not there. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it. 3 out of 10 or something like that. Just one little thing. I've downloaded Grounded, ready for the.
Okay.
Which is on. Is it 28th? And I've downloaded Ori games because every game that Robin seems to recommend, I'm downloading. Like what was that banana one? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying these games. I think I'm not going to go down Phil's route of enjoying all these strategies, but when Robin seems to come up with it, I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying that. So I've downloaded the Ori games ready. So good. I think I'll try and go this week.
Good. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. Put that on your list.
Yeah.
It's good.
A couple games to maybe not put on your list.
boy.
So finishing out the demos. So there's a game called The Veil.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not understand this game, and I still don't really understand this game. But through doing a little bit of internet watching, because I started the game up, and you see kind of all of these different lights, and unfortunately I got a little distracted, so I didn't quite hear some of maybe possible explanations going on with it. I don't know, but it looked like I was in like a loading screen area, right? Like Assassin's Creed. When you were in that kind of mist area where you just have to kind of walk around, you're not really doing anything, and then eventually the mist clears up and you're in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just expecting this to happen. And, you're in this black screen and you see all these little lights kind of dancing and floating about, and I'm like, okay, I'm in some kind of loading thing, and I hear some people talking. I'm not really paying attention to it. and there's some ambient sounds happening, and I'm like, okay, well, when's the game going to start? And I'm like changing directions, and I can see the little lights changing directions, and I'm just doing this for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, finally, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Well, turns out, it's like all audio, and you are, I'm assuming, playing a blind person.
Yes, you're blind.
Okay.
Yep.
And look, I get it. This may be really spot on to how things actually would be. I hated it. Could not.
Yeah,
I hated it.
I saw the description for it and I read that, and it's like an RPG and, you know,
Yeah.
knights, castles, all 9 yards. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good. And then the more I get to read about it, and they're talking like, well, you play a blind woman, and I'm like, okay. And then they're like, but you don't actually see anything either. And I'm like, well, that's enough of that, because I ain't gonna.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I had it on the screen there. Was it just like little stars and floaty
Yeah,
things?
little black
So
dots.
I just moved it on because I thought this is broken. This is broken.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Alright.
You have to move towards the noise and this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. And I'm like, well, that'll never work for me, because I'll get frustrated and give up halfway through and be like, you know what, fuck this. So, yeah.
Okay, it's going on.
That was
screen
disappointing.
right now. Yeah.
It
so-
it very well may turn out to be brilliant.
I mean,
but it's not going to be for me.
no, me neither.
Yeah.
No.
That will
And it
just
sounds
frustrate
really
me.
good too, so that's a shame, but oh well.
Yeah. And then the last game to talk about was a Book of Adventum. So this is a first-person kind of post-apocalyptic kind of game. For the first thing that jumped off at me was they have the character creation screen or character choosing screen. You can choose between a male and a female. And when I looked at the female, I shared it actually with the podcast team. I was laughing so much because I mean it's just this giant like cleavage plunge on the woman, and I was like, that's a holster for something. So
okay.
I got into
Gotta
playing the
find that
game.
one.
Yeah, I got into the game. I managed to make my way into a house to search it, and the notion of how you got out of the house was supposed to be that you would push aside this bookshelf that's blocking a door, and that's how you escape. But the game completely was hung up on the stupid bookshelf. It couldn't move, and it just, I mean, it was broken. I couldn't leave the room. So at one point I was just like, you know what? As much as I want to give this game a shot, it doesn't look graphically impressive. It's kind of crap in terms of controls. And on top of it, it just broke on me. So yeah, I'm done. And it looked just like that on screen. There you go. Good job, Robin.
You made me look down. Yes.
Yes. All right. So I think that wraps up what we have all been playing.
God.
Let's get into the
Lord have
news,
mercy.
Robin. The news.
Oh dear Lord, that was something else there.
Here is the fucking news.
All right. So the big thing that happened this week was on Thursday, Microsoft had their big Xbox showcase.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
They did?
They did, Gary.
Yeah.
They did, yes.
Huh.
Many people watched it. Some people apparently are not even aware of it.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, we can go through each game announcement pretty much in the order I think that they happened, or close to it at least, and just talk about them. And obviously, any thoughts, impressions as they got announced. And obviously in the chat, we would love for people, listening in. If you had any thoughts around any of these games, anything stood out in particular for you, great. Let us know. So they had a pre-show event with Jeff Keighley. And they showed off a number of games in the pre-show. These were all, I think, I'll just call them the kind of the lesser games. But there was one in particular for me that stood out. But anyway, Hello Neighbor 2. I guess this is a thing. I never really knew Hello Neighbor is a big thing, but apparently it's a big thing.
Yeah, the kids love it.
Yeah, and so Hello Neighbor 2 was announced. And that'll be coming to Xbox and PC, possibly others, who knows, but in 2021. It's a ways out. Then there was a game called Echo Generation that I honestly don't even recall this game, to be perfectly frank. It got announced.
I don't either.
Watch Dogs Legions, they showed that off again a little bit. It was kind of more of the same stuff. I don't know how to feel about Watch Dogs Legions. I'm really on the fence of kind of liking it and kind of feeling like I've been here before. And I feel like I'm doing this with almost all of the Ubisoft games right now.
Yeah, your Assassin's Creed and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next game was Exomecha. Yeah. This actually looks kind of cool, but it's very indie.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Yes, people. Pete, are you okay there?
It's Robin's fault.
Yeah, it's always Robin's fault. Always Robin's fault. No, actually, it's always Mark's fault. Let's get this right. Anyway, so Exomecha, it has mechs in it. That obviously gets my attention.
Obviously.
It seemed like it's a first-person shooter game, but you were part of this like huge battle between giant mechs happening. Seemed very Japanesey to me in terms of the styles of the mechs, that kind of thing. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be a budget game. I can't imagine this being any kind of full price game at all. It looked pretty simplistic in some respects.
No, it's simplistic, but looks good. The set great as well.
Yeah. No, don't.
Very intense. It looks. Yeah. I think I'm buy this one.
A game that Pete absolutely is going to love. Actually, Dragon Quest XI S.
Oh wow! Wow, they made this for me.
It is a big deal that it's finally coming to an Xbox console. I will say Dragon Quest is those games have never graced Xbox consoles before, so they're bringing this over. Apparently, it's kind of a definitive edition. They're adding some additional content into it. If you like these kinds of games, you're going to be excited. Yeah. But then again, if you like these kinds of games, you've probably already played them elsewhere. That's being honest. And the last game for the pre-show, Balan Wonderworld. This is a game that it kind of caught my attention. I didn't know. I was fully prepared to be like, another Japanese game. Not going to like it. And I hate to say it that way, but it's a Square Enix game, and for the most part, most of Square Enix stuff I don't typically enjoy.
It looks lovely.
Yeah, but it does. Lovely is the right word for it, and maybe it's just because it's different, and it feels like a break from everything else we've been getting. So apparently, you change outfits, and the different outfits are going to use some different capabilities in terms of, I guess in terms of your performance. So I'm not entirely sure, again, how this game plays out and what the overall look is, but the vibe of it, I can get behind it. We'll see. I'll check it out
nice
for sure.
Platformer. Okay. All right.
So that was it.
Meat and potatoes. Meat and potato time.
Yeah. So let's do something different here.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Gary.
Yeah.
The man who literally knows nothing about any of these games. You're going to walk through the rest of the games here for the main show, and we'll just throw in comments as you go through.
All right.
Why not just turn it all upside down?
Well, there's some game called Halo, and they're coming out with another Halo again. Halo Infinite.
This was kind of they let off with it on the show. It's a big deal. This game, I thought looked great. I think when you watch it in the 4K replay, it actually looks great. I think the 1080.
You're saying this because they took some stick over the visuals for the Halo game.
No. It deserves some of that stick. It does.
Yeah, but they also came out and said, "Hold on a second, it's July. This is coming out, November time. This is a build.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the final product." So yeah. And they also took some stick over. Oh, this is not running on an Xbox. Of course it's not. When do these things ever, PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo games that they ever show, they never run on the final product? You just twats. It runs on a PC of a similar spec. Please don't get annoyed with them running on a PC. It's ridiculous. If it was the finished game in the box and they put the disc in, fair enough. But a build which is 6 months away, stop it. I thought it looked great.
I will only say this. I personally loved what I saw.
Yes.
I can understand people giving it a little bit of shtick because there definitely was some less than great character modeling or textures, I guess is maybe the better way to put it. And I will say this, knowing how important this is for Xbox and everything, I would have thought they would have really made sure that they just said, look, let's take a current build, do something, to really make sure it was polished. That being said, what I saw, I loved. There's a grapple hook. There's a lot of new weapons. There's upgrades. Looks like it's going to be an open world kind of take, maybe more God of War style, where it's still kind of linear within the story, but it gives you very open spaces to play within. And I love Halo, so I'm happy as heck from what I saw.
Halo.
I'll give it a go.
But Halo, the last ones, Halo 4s and 5s, they look great. So why would this not look at least as good as those? So if this doesn't look quite just as good right now, don't worry. And Dan saying, yeah, you know what, it's only a few months away, but it'll get there. I have faith in these guys. They don't know what they're at. Sorry, Pete.
Scott Stubby says, I've never been a Halo fan. I may play it as it's on Game Pass. So do the same.
Yeah, they're all of them's going to be on Game Pass.
The Master Chief Collection, apart from Game Pass as a thing, the Master Chief Collection is the bestest value ever in a package of gaming that's ever been made. You can play through that whole series. There's so much content in there. From the remastered versions of Halo Combat Evolved, 2, 3, where it really kicks off, ODST, Halo Reach for the fantastic story. It's all there. To play these. They're brilliant. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kim, you brought up a really good point, and worth noting. All of the games in the main show are all coming to Game Pass. So all of the games we're talking about now are all going to be in Game Pass at some point whenever they launch. So that's I think that was an important distinction.
I took a few notes.
All right.
Halo, armor going together. Sounds and looks like Westworld. I thought that looked a bit like Westworld at the beginning with the big thing that was built, the logos. Master Chief is back. Stunning particle effects. I thought in some of the shooting bits with some of the guys here, I thought that looked really good graphically. Single player was on show, which is usually it's only multiplayer they show, so that was kind of cool. And how do you pronounce the baddie, the villain, Artrox?
Well, so Atriox.
He looks like Pitchin.
Yeah, Atriox definitely. Well, but that was not Atriox. Here's the fun facts. I thought it was Atriox. Atriox actually is the leader of the Banished, and you meet him in the game Halo Wars 2. Guy the baddie you see in the Halo Infinite demo is not Atriox. It's one of his subordinate lieutenants.
Okay.
But looks similar to Atriox.
I've also paused the video right now because this shot here reminded me so much during that show of older Combat Evolved. Or 2 where you start with the Jeep. I just thought that it was a throwback to that as well, going along the sort of a coast with the big cliffs, and here it's a big building. So I thought that was quite cool. Also, the same thing that's on us right now was a new thing, which is a TAC map, as they called it.
Right.
Which kind of looked very up Greg Street.
It gives you an open world vibe.
And
which is exactly where I live, an open world vibe. That's my street right there. If you're in the chat looking at this,
and 60 frames
there's my
per
home.
second. 60 frames per second.
Yes. All right. Let's move forward, Gary. What was the next game that got announced?
We have State of Decay 3.
This one shocked me only because of the presentation, the video that came out, the trailer. State of Decay typically has been all about community management. Typically speaking, when they've ever shown off State of Decay, it's usually you see somebody in a vehicle, they're driving down the street, they're opening their doors up, they're killing zombies with their cars. They kind of, have a little fun with it. This felt very cinematic, very single player focused, which I don't know if that's what State of Decay 3 is going to be, but obviously this trailer did not reflect what we've kind of come to know State of Decay 3, that was difficult to say, to be about. So I'm really curious.
It was scary, that deer. The do ray deer.
Right?
May it's definitely not being the sound of music, that one. No way.
No.
Yeah. Well, and undead animals, again, that's a new thing for the series
I
as well.
wouldn't want to come across that sucker hunting, that's for sure.
Imagine that being your horse getting out.
Right? No.
So State of Decay is an exclusive Xbox game, isn't it? It's not on PlayStation?
No,
It
it's on
is.
PC. It is on PC and Xbox.
No, it's really difficult. I've really struggled with it, to be honest. I found it difficult to keep your camp, and it's a real difficult game. I hope it kind of eases up a bit, but I don't think it will. I don't know. But it looks really pretty though. This game, it's got some great cinematic. Yeah, I think it's good.
It'll be curious to see. Do they go into more of a linear kind of telling of being out in this, undead world, or do they stick to the current formula? I kind of hope they take it in a different direction. I'd like to see that, because
everybody's saying it's the same. It's just more of the same, and you don't want that, do you? With a game series that develops with all of this new technology and all of these graphics that are going to improve. Yeah, you want something more interesting, don't you? So. There's an interesting comment actually in the chat.
About your balls?
It's just
right.
They bite the hair off my balls, but Greg keeps on saying we need to play one of them in co-op. I think that's referring to a Halo game.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I don't think I would like you to demonstrate you biting the hair off your balls. I don't think you could reach.
I just need a couple of minutes of swimming. I reckon
Scary.
Scary.
Yeah. By the way, Gary, the next thing, this was the lull moment for me when they started to talk about Hellblade 2, because they actually didn't show anything new. They didn't really even talk about the game per se, other than saying that they have a vid doc out about their location shoots for the game.
Right.
It's going to take place in Iceland. Yeah. So,
which is Corona free probably, so it's a great thing.
There you go. There's something. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
But it's on the Unreal Engine 5, which I've seen some demos of that, and that does look very nice.
Oh, you really did jump ahead a bit there, didn't you?
We're just moving here, baby.
We're trying. When
we start talking about biting hair off balls, we got to keep things moving.
Yeah, and I tried keeping these in order, but they aren't necessarily exactly in order, Robin. So apologies if that's throwing you off a little bit on trying to capture video. The next game, though, I know, Gary, Robin had a straight up rock hard on for this.
He was ready for this?
Not to be vulgar, sorry, Kim, but this is Robin's jam.
That little group called Turn 10 Studios releasing Forza Motorsport. Now this is full sim again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's still a ways away. It's still probably a year away, so it's not coming out at launch. Again, this stuff here. So if I go skip back here, it shows footage captured in Engine.
In Engine.
So
in Engine.
There's no real sort of gameplay here. There is the walking around bit set pieces in your garage, which is eye candy, and it is gorgeous, and racing games really do show off graphics really well. But the posters in the back of this workshop right now look like the previous game. You chose a poster to go into a different class of car. I mean, this stuff here is beautiful, but this is not the game. This is not the gameplay. This is the eye candy in the workshop, which is meaningless that you skip through after a while. But their pedigree is almost second to none. So Gran Turismo has been left behind as far as console sim type racer, and I thoroughly look forward to this. So
Now you have the whole setup, right? Is that for Xbox and PC or?
Yeah, it'll play Xbox or PC. So I'm ready for this now. Ready for
But it's not coming out for a year.
Yeah, but
it's
still
gonna take a while.
But there's still plenty to play. I didn't build a rig for that, so.
Yeah.
Interesting to note, by the way.
Note.
Forza Motorsport, no number associated with it.
Yeah.
And I think this is something we're going to see from Microsoft with a couple of these different games. Halo Infinite, they said that game is going to be, in a sense, a platform for Halo moving forward. That is the last named Halo game for the foreseeable future. I think the same thing is going to be true of Forza Motorsport. I think what we're going to start to see is them just building upon what they've already built. In a sense, kind of
like the Destiny model, or Destiny 2, I should say, right?
Exactly.
They come out with pretty much major releases every year. I think it's a good model. The golf did that.
It can be. I would love to see maybe a sports game like Madden adopt this.
I think we've talked about that many times.
I suppose. I mean, if you look at Forza, if you also, when we're talking about the Halo, there, the Master Chief Collection pretty much is a platform of itself. That when you go to that, you can choose. You can start playing any of those games in that whole series from 1, 2, 3, 4, Combat Evolved, the remakes, all the bits and pieces, Reach, the Forge, where you make your own maps, all from one menu screen. So all of the games are in there, which is like that sort of platform switch. And it would be lovely to see. Wouldn't it be fantastic if you had a central platform for Call of Duty where you could play COD 1, 2, or 3, or all of those from one central point, that they're all there. God knows how much memory it would take, hard drive space. Yeah. But that would be lovely to be able to flick between them all like that. So, anyway.
What I hope for Forza Motorsport, by the way, Rally. I would love to see them bring Rally into it. Yes.
Buy Colin McRae. Yeah. Buy a proper Rally game. Don't try.
Or put it all under one umbrella.
No. You know, and please don't.
Shut your mouth.
No.
Bring in motorcycles. Bring in airplanes. Boats.
No. Forza is the purest thing on tarmac. Please don't mix it up with something wrong. Don't let them be good at what they're good at.
It's like putting Lego in there, Greg. Are you crazy?
Yeah, exactly. That's Forza Horizon. That's fine there, but not in motorsport. It's a purest thing. Please don't dilute it.
I bet they do. All right. Tell me why.
That's a game.
Yeah,
it is a game.
It's a story game.
I don't like
it is. Yeah. Don't Nod. They I forgot all the different games they've made, but they've made a series of these. They're kind of like the Quantic Dream games.
Yep. Yeah. So this is
Walking Sims.
What is the girlies? This is the girls. Goodness, there were several of the games there recently that we all played. What were they called? God. The Valley Girls.
Yeah.
My notes were it's an adventure game. It looks like the Valley Girls games. So
the Valley Girls games.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that love these games. They're all about story, and they're not. It's not action. It's not. All I know is Don't Nod games. That's how I refer to them, and then I equate them out to similar to Quantic Dreams. Although I think Quantic Dreams does a better job visually.
It's like Life is Strange and that sort of thing.
That's it. That's them.
That's what Robin was going with, right?
Yeah. Yep. Valley Girls.
Kim gets the gold star.
Yep.
Yay!
It looks good. Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in this until I saw it again the other day, and it'll probably be something I'll play.
Well, this looks better.
Because I do like them little. So.
I like this. All right. Gary, what was next?
We have Grounded next. Obsidian Project. It was unveiled.
Yeah, so this is like right around the corner. It's July 28th. It's coming out. Into game preview, I guess, is technically where they're going to launch it. So again, similar to what they did, I think, with Sea of Thieves. Although my time with this game, I played it in beta. I loved what I played. I was really, really enjoyed it. So it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I mean, that's the best way to describe this game.
They were
in the backyard.
They were
child.
Sorry for disturbing you. They were self-deprecating as well. A little bit where they said,
yes,
because the cyberpunk thing. Oh, if you're waiting for this year's biggest RPG, this isn't it. That was very good. So they were self-deprecating. But this is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This is what that looks like, doesn't it? So
it's
cute.
Fighting
the bugs in the back garden.
Yes. All right. Next on the docket, Gary.
the Outer Worlds DLC. The new chapter, right?
I think they're a bit late with this, if you ask me. I don't know. They should have delivered this a little bit more quicker.
You think?
Yeah. How long has it been out now? It feels like an age since I've completed that game.
Like, how long has it been?
I want to say it launched in what, March?
Was it really? Because
Yeah, it hasn't
it
been
was
that
this year.
long.
It was this year. It hasn't been that long, Gary.
No.
Pete?
Because you had a little pandemic.
Yeah,
Well,
little pandemic
I
tends to
haven't
throw
played
things
this,
off.
Tiny one.
but this here makes me want to play this. So seeing this
Mhm.
makes me want to play it because it just that wow. I don't know how I missed this.
Yeah. By the way, Scott Stubby did bring up a very good point about Project Gotham introducing bikes and how crappy that was. So fair play. Just leave the bikes out. Just boats and airplanes, please. Then, Gary, there was another surprise announcement. So these are, by the way, Outer Worlds and Grounded Obsidian games. And everybody was kind of, I think, at that moment being like, oh, great, here we go. They're just showing off the crap they've already done. We're not going to learn anything about anything new or cool that we really want to see. And
This is what I wanted to see.
This,
And then we had Avowed. I did watch the trailer on this.
Yep.
And
This
it looks
looks
pretty
good.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Although it's an RPG, so that scares me away. But it's right up Kim's alley.
Not me. I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
This is Skyrim, Lord of the Rings, isn't it? And Game of Thrones all thrown into one.
Works for me.
all right.
Just to confirm, The Outer Worlds was released on 25th of October 2019.
Yes, fair play. Yes,
Oh,
thank you, Nerd
boy.
Allegiance, for that correction. We don't know what we're talking about. We're suffering from
Whoops.
pandemic memory recall. That's what we're calling it.
Recall.
Didn't feel like it was
recall.
that long ago.
Total
Pete,
recall.
Pete, wipe that smug look off your face, Mister. Oh, I knew what I was talking about.
It's been an age.
It has well, almost a year, but not quite.
Wow.
Anyway, Avowed.
That's good.
Kim,
Looks really
If-
good.
if you were going to characterize this, Kim, what would you characterize this game? What would it be most close to?
I don't know. Probably Skyrim, I would think. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of from what I'm looking at here. That's more what it reminds me of than anything else is Skyrim. So
Yeah,
That's
especially
the impression I got. I mean, you're only watching a trailer, but when you see the guy with the magic in his hand and the
Yeah.
sword light
yeah,
up,
exactly.
Skyrim.
you start
Yeah.
to wonder if it's going to have Skyrim-ish world.
Is it bad that I've not played Skyrim?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes, it's terrible.
Because I'm not an RPG guy, and that game was very good.
I have notes for Avowed, and my notes
Okay.
were
Okay.
Avowed -RPG. Yeah, that was
There
my
you go.
notes.
Fantastic
Very good.
notes.
Good
Spot
notes,
on,
yeah.
Robin. Well done.
Awesome.
Yeah, to the
That's
point.
it.
Yeah. I kept thinking though when I saw the when he came up with the sword in the hand, and the only thing I could think of was, I wonder if they have a third person view.
Yeah, I hear you with that. Yeah.
I do prefer kind of third person views to first person views when it comes to RPG games like that.
I do
especially
too. I agree.
anything with physical combat. They just play better.
Yep.
But anyway, so Avowed was a big surprise. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Nope. I was excited about it.
It was definitely something. They're just taking stuff out of your house, Gary. Don't worry about it.
I think that's where they keep their beer. I'm serious. That's my son's room, and he gets the beer for everybody in the neighborhood, and they come here and get it.
Oh, I'll take a beer.
Oh, to be 18 again, huh?
Yeah, Gary
Right?
Gary DeFelice's house, also known as a speakeasy.
Oh, see,
all right, Gary, what was-
see, that's no big thing here because 18 is legal to have alcohol in the UK. So
Is it 18 there?
yep,
Yep.
We're
Used
such
to
a
be
mess
18
over
you're
here.
an adult at
States.
18. You're not. You know, it's like not when you're 21. That's like you stay like kids for so much longer in America.
We try.
agree.
We fail.
Where
Gary,
are
what
we?
was up next?
Well, we just did Avowed, right? So as
Yes.
dusk
Oh,
falls,
oops, I'm too far ahead.
get that going there. Put the wine down.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another, talking about walking simulator games.
Yep.
This is the a lot of the people that came or making this game, I should say, are former Quantic Dreams people. In fact, the woman that heads up the studio, I think she was a former lead at Quantic Dreams. So this is a very unusual style. It's got kind of like this they take photos and then they draw over the photos to give it like a hand-drawn look. It's a story-driven game. I mean, they make no qualms about this. It is going to be completely focused in on story. I don't want to call it a walking simulator because I don't even know how much walking you're going to do in it. Yes, it's going to put Gary to sleep. I actually I'm curious. I'm really curious.
Yeah,
I'd like to see
me too.
more, but I absolutely could be right there with you, Gary. This could bore the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little fearful.
Wait for the reviews.
I took
Yes.
notes on this as well. French
Okay.
Girl, interactive drama, As Dusk Falls. There you go. French Girl.
Well
was
done,
amazing.
Robin.
Yeah.
Again. Yep, French Girl. She's the lead, by the way. She
I
hits
also
up.
had large nose, but and that would have been very, very bad of me to say that. So
Yes.
but I just want to go back and see if she has a large. Yes, she has a large nose. I'm looking at it again.
Oh God.
All right. What? Let's shift out of as dusk falls.
Psychonauts. Psychonaut.
Yeah, Psychonauts 2.
See, I always think these guys could have been brothers. So Jack Black.
They look like they're brothers.
Even
Tim,
the same they even sort of have the same sort of temperament and sense of humor, the belly, everything. And Jack Black is singing a lot of the songs in this here, which seems pretty darn cool. He's very funny on TikTok, China. But they just seem like kindred spirits, and just to be together on projects is cool. And whether it's a good game or not, it looks like it's fun. Psychonauts, cool.
I think this game is going to
trash.
Say it again.
It does look like trash to me. I mean, I love Jack Black. School of Rock is one of my favorite films, but this ain't worth wasting your time on, is it? This.
It's better than it looks.
Sadly mistaken.
It's better than it looks, man. Honestly, trust me, it will be better than it looks.
So what you end up seeing in the trailer is a lot of different environments and different graphical styles within those environments for the game. So I actually think Psychonauts 2 could be a surprise hit as opposed to Pete's narrow-minded, unfocused view.
Oh, no.
I have no. I have no
game.
I have notes for this.
I love his music. Tenacious D, what a wicked band. He's got so much style and he's got so much. He's just brilliant. And Jack Black, a great comedian, great at making movies. But I don't know.
Well, the good news is he's not making this game. He's only singing and doing voiceover work in this game. So that's one positive. Huh?
All right.
Jerry Garcia. I'm looking at the trailer. What? Wow.
Yeah, I have.
It's not looking good.
I have notes here. Double Fine. Jack Black. Play this on drugs. So.
Yeah, there definitely is some drug action happening in this game. But I look, with all these games, right? We won't know until the actual final product comes out. But I do think this game is going to be a star. There's that.
Yeah.
Gary, what's next?
Medium. I don't know anything about this one.
What is this?
So this is made by Bloober Team. The Medium, these are the guys that did the...
Jeez.
Oh God, it just was out. This is the Blair Witch game.
It's not just even a bit of jumping around. There's no order here whatsoever. It's like everywhere. Where were you when you were watching this? I took notes in order of every game. Which way did you watch this?
Well, then, Robin, if here's my thing to you. I pulled these descriptions.
It's fine.
No.
You did
blame
say,
GameStop.
No, you did say if I wanted to change it around, I could have.
I
didn't, and it's fucking Mark's fault because I was out today worrying about Mark when I could have been doing this. So it's all bloody
fucking
Mark.
Yeah, the challenge was so.
And he's playing GTA 5 right now too.
I know, motherfucker.
In
fairness, bless his heart, motherfucker. In fairness, I pulled this from GameSpot. They had a list of all the games, and it was not in order at all. So I tried to recreate the order as best I could in my memory because I wasn't able to go back and start watching it. I was limited on time. that's why I threw that note out there saying, hey, it may not be in exact order.
Okay, so the video that's playing right now is on a side point. We'll move on. Is from GameSpot.
Yes.
And it's in order. This looks brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, the medium. Third person action, although action
Wake.
may be in quotes.
No, this is gonna be. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this. These are the guys who made Blair Witch, I think, and that wasn't a fantastic game. Oh, I really hated it. You walk around.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm with you.
This looks really action packed, scary, how it should be. Yeah, this. I'm really looking forward to this one.
One of the things to note is apparently when they're doing these split screens, they're literally showing two different worlds,
Two
and they're
worlds rendered at once.
Yes,
I
which is
wrote-
pretty impressive.
I wrote
Because she's a medium.
Alan Wake-ish, and I wrote Senua like as well, like Senua Ninja Theory one. So, yeah, Senua, Alan Wake-ish, two worlds.
Yeah.
So cool.
What's the Long Island medium's name? I can't remember.
Is that Sylvia Brown, something like that?
Sheesh, I can't remember. My daughter knows because she's watching it all the time.
Okay,
Terry Caputo.
Oh,
that's exactly what I thought.
okay.
There we go. It was close, Greg. It was close.
Yeah, totally close. Yeah, the medium. I'm curious to learn more. I am cautiously curious though, because I am right there with Pete. I did not like the Blair Witch game. This looks nothing like the Blair Witch game, thankfully. So we'll see. We'll see if Bloober can redeem themselves. By the way, Bloober. That's a funny ass studio name.
Yep.
Speaking of funny names, Gary.
I love this name, The Gunk. Developed by the creators of SteamWorld.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Sorry,
this.
Robin.
I like
Jump
this.
through.
I like
Actually,
this.
a launch exclusive, right?
I like
Yeah. This looks cool. Very kind of indie vibe to it, though. But explorative. It's pretty.
Yep.
It's got a unique art style to it. 3D. I would call it a 3D platformer. At least that's the impression I get from it. But I honestly, I have no idea. I just liked the way it looked, and the name was pretty damn funny. The Gunk.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. It sort of has that sort of Ratchet and Clank sort of feel to it.
Yeah. Now that you say that, the main character kind of does have a little bit of that vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of Clank, if you will,
Or Gunk, as you may be.
or Gunk.
Gunkish. Very gunkish.
Gunky Clank.
Oh, Gunga.
Yeah.
God, the Gungan. Gungan. No.
All right.
Gungan from Star Wars.
If the Gunk wasn't going to do it for you, Gary, what about the next game?
We have another Xbox console launch exclusive, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide.
Ooh.
Yeah,
For you Warhammer fans.
I can get behind this. It feels Left 4 Dead in the Warhammer universe. That's what I got from this. May totally be wrong, but that's the vibe I was getting from it. It felt very Left 4 Dead. Team of
Yes,
four.
I think
you're
that's what I
going
wrote.
in.
That's what I wrote down. I think we're on great minds think alike. Yeah. What was it called again? Fat Shark? No.
Say what?
Oh, Dark
Warhammer?
Tide. Yeah. It's the company
Dark
that
Tide.
made it called Fat Shark. I wrote a team of 4 zombies, and yeah. And so I thought this looked cool as a 4-player game, like Left 4 Dead. We really always wanted another Left 4 Dead type game, so we need that back, don't we? We need a game like that. 'Cause this
I
looks-
have Warhammer Vermintide on the PC, and I played that a little bit. It was pretty cool. I don't know if I'm assuming it'd be very similar, it sounds like, without having seen the Darktide stuff.
So, yeah, this looks cool. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Going from a 4-player co-op action title, Gary, what was next?
Who remembers Tetris?
Tetris Effect kind of took off last year, though. I mean, that was the VR game. It was 2 years back now that I think about it. But Tetris Effect, I mean, people were raving about this game. So, hey, Tetris Effect connected. It's bringing in multiplayer into the experience.
Yeah, it's a big, massive thing, isn't it? Loads and loads of players playing it at one time. That's the sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not 1 versus 100, but it could be pretty awesome.
One of the biggest games ever, Tetris, wasn't it?
It is one of the biggest games ever.
So,
friggin'
get this new generation playing Tetris. Let's go.
Let's get the Russians into your house. That's it.
Kim, you've been silent on all this. You down for some Tetris?
Oh, well, sure.
I get blocked. Yeah.
I could see her playing that for 8 hours during our extra life this year.
Right?
Oh my god!
I love the way they put this video together because you didn't know what this was, and they were all sort of bopping away to the same music, and their heads were all going, and there must be some really good, maybe remixed tune of Tetris or whatever it is. But yeah, it looks like fun, and then the video reveals like a one screen and then two and multiple and multiple and multiple and builds on it, and it does actually look fun. It'll last for a month, and away we'll forget about it again.
Look, if you told me back in the days of the Xbox 360 that a game called Uno was going to be like the big thing for a while, I would have laughed.
Right?
You and your windmills, that's right. You done windmills, didn't you? Yeah. With the webcam and stuff?
No. not on public. Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
This could be something. Who knows?
Oh, one thing to mention here, a lot of these things are smart delivery. It's a term that's all used all the way through a lot of this. So if you play this on your standard Xbox and you upgrade then to the Xbox One XXXXX, whatever it's called, the new visuals and upgrade stuff is part of the package. It's free, so that's kind of cool. That sort of straddles both the old hardware and the new hardware, and that's a nice thing that they've got their head around. Smart delivery.
Well, and let's be honest about this. It's basically just saying, look, if you buy the game and there's an upgrade to it, we're not going to charge you for it. This exists on a lot of other platforms. But I think they've been smart getting behind and terming it and kind of turning it into a marketing ploy, even though, look, Sony can easily do this. Nintendo could easily do this. Whether they do it or not, that's a different story.
Yeah.
EA kind of is doing it. And then there's NBA 2K, which that angers me. You can't get the upgrade unless you buy the $100. That's the only way you get the free quote unquote upgrade. Really?
I'm trying to think here in real world. I mean, if you bought a HOTAS, right? You're HOTAS, right. Okay? Not looking for laughs or anything. So you're a big thrust master, and you bought it in December of this year, right? And in January they brought out a new model. That's you would feel a bit aggrieved if you didn't know about it. But in this case here, you've spent 50 or 60 quid on your software, whatever it is, and they're upgrading to you, and that is a nice service. They don't need to do it, but it's nice customer service. So fair play to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's
between your legs.
It is part of, I think, ultimately the difference of approaches Microsoft's doing and Sony's doing. Sony has absolutely drawn kind of a hard line in the sand. They're making this generations difference, and Microsoft is trying to soft pedal that a little bit. One of the things, actually,
Sorry,
we
Greg,
could talk about this now.
Stop again. Stop. Terminology.
Yeah.
You're talking about drawing a hard line in the sand.
Yes.
So, how do you draw a hard line in the sand? Because if the waves come in, it sort of goes away. Where do you draw a hard line? Hard lines between something hard that's permanent. So you said it's like I know.
Really hate you.
I hate you. It's a red wine tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say the wine is kicking in now.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing to note,
actually,
Microsoft said at the beginning of this kind of whole console reveal that all of the Xbox exclusives for the next year to 2 years were going to be, and then they kind of went into 2 years and kind of stuck there, which is, all games would be playable on old hardware and the new hardware. As you go through this conference, one thing you will see quite a bit is a lot of these games, even first-party games, saying Xbox Series X and PC.
Yeah.
They don't include Xbox One.
I saw an article on The Verge that kind of highlighted that. Did you see that?
Yeah. So what the curiosity is now is Microsoft sticking this, or are they now starting to kind of fudge it a little bit, and maybe they're going to bring the next generation in a little faster?
It depends on the uptake of the hardware. as Nerd Allegiance says in the chat, Nintendo won't do it. You know, you
Right.
Yeah, they like release the game at full price on different consoles, so you know it's gone. Once it's chopped, it's away. He's saying, do you think the smart delivery will be definite for the rest of its life? No, I don't think so. Unless, as Greg was talking about, I think there is a cutoff point, and the more of these new consoles they sell, the faster that cutoff point comes. So I think there'll be at least a year, but I think anything after 12 months after release of this new hardware, I would say you're going to start to see it. In the previous generation, it happened with Assassin's Creed, it's happened with Call of Duty instantly. So the 360 version and PlayStation 3 versions of Call of Duty that particular year had a pile of shit cut out of it. It was multiplayer only. It didn't have the story in it.
I remember.
The same. So it happened immediately. So don't be surprised if it happens really, really quickly. You know, they might say these things now, but if they sell above and beyond, and PlayStation seem to think the way the news story came out this week that they're upping the first batch up to 10 million units or something like that there.
Right.
They're expecting to sell out big style. So, you know, if that happens, they'll move on quickly.
Well, and in fairness, I think another big part of that, just to totally sidetrack our conversation here, but that uptick, I think also what they've seen this year, video game sales have been crazy robust.
Because we're being
hardware in particular. Yeah. Everybody's at home with the pandemic. There's no end in sight on top of it all. So I think these companies are starting to realize there's going to be some high demand for these new game consoles.
Yeah.
So, all right, Gary, what is next?
Where are we? We're Phantasy Star Online 2, right?
Yes.
Another console launch exclusive, but interestingly from
Sega.
Yes.
Oh, Aliens Colonial Machines. Wow, what a guy.
No, that was Gearbox. So Phantasy Star Online 2.
Sega published it?
They might have. So Phantasy Star. What's next is hard. Yes.
Yeah, let's not talk
Sorry.
about this. Okay. Who wants to talk about
No.
Phantasy Star? Steve, flip me.
We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because it's important.
Are you guys having a conversation that I'm not seeing?
Yes, totally unseen. No, Phantasy Star Online 2. It released as Phantasy Star Online. Apparently in Japan, they've done some updates to that game that qualify it into Phantasy Star Online, like the sequel, but it's ambiguous right now. People are like, is this actually a true sequel to Phantasy Star Online, or is it just the Japanese version, which is kind of the upgraded original? I don't know. I have never tried to get into these games, but apparently super popular.
Yeah.
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 There's that. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never ever sort of got these things. It's I don't know. Japan. I don't know what it is. It's that hack and slash thing, and it's never. No.
Gary.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, it is.
It is pretty much like that. Gary, tell me about a PC game that came out and then they talked about a sequel, but then that sequel supposedly was canceled, and then now it's magically back.
It's magically back, launching exclusively, let me correct, on Xbox platforms, Stalker 2. And it looks pretty damn cool.
It does look cool.
It really does. It really is.
Well, I did watch that trailer, and that looked pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I can get behind Stalker 2. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I never played the original. I know people really liked it, but it had its problems. It was kind of like a Metro-like, if you will.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, definitely has that vibe. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. Yeah.
I wrote that, and I wrote looks creepy good.
Well said.
Yeah. Pete, you down with some Stalker 2?
Peanuts.
No, I haven't seen the trailer, so I couldn't even give you any information, thoughts, whatever. Yeah, I've missed the showing on.
It's on now. I've been showing all these all night. You haven't been watching them? You haven't?
No.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay.
That's all right, Pete. I just
Looking
want to
into
put you
your
on the spot.
eyes, Robin.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
It's pretty neat, but no, I'm sorry.
I had to just make sure that people knew you were actually just playing word games on your phone and you were not paying attention. That's
I'm
all.
playing Candy Crush. Of course I'm not.
Of course you are. We know.
Oh,
Yeah. Show your phone. All right. From Stalker 2, we go to another 2. Gary, what was next?
This is one of my favorite games, although I haven't played it for a while. But Destiny 2 is going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. I think it was September, if I read on this right, and then November the new DLC will be available for purchase, I believe, right?
No, it's going to be on Game Pass.
The DLC is as well.
My understanding is it's supposed to be coming with it, included in Game Pass.
Great way to expand the fan base. I believe Destiny 2 is also moving in a direction of being supported for multi-platform gameplay as well.
Wow,
I don't
cool.
know where we are on that, but I know not just sharing accounts, but I'm pretty sure they're moving in a direction where you can play with friends across consoles.
See, Gary, I looked at this and watched this demo and went, yeah, it looks fabulous. It looks brilliant, but I've seen this all, if I went back
But Destiny hasn't changed a lot. It's just, for whatever reason, for me, with that game, it's just something that once I start, like, I can put it off now and I won't play it for months. And if I just start to play it a little bit, it hooks me in and I want to get a better gun or I want to get some new equipment, and it just cycles in on me. So story-wise, they give you a lot of different elements and things of that nature. The co-op part and playing with friends is really where it's at. I got lucky on the PC. I found a great community called, Dads of Destiny. And they're just always playing and helping each other out, and it was great. So, if you like Destiny, it's a good thing. And if it's free, you can check it out. And if you don't like it, you just move on.
So that's Game Pass in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is another game I've not played. Never delved into Destiny at all. It reminds me too much of Halo, and I'm not a massive fan of that.
Funny enough,
Greg,
I'll tell you why.
Because Bungie is the team behind Destiny 2, and they made the original Halo.
Yeah. It's just, no.
Now, Pete, this is, decidedly you're wrong. You might be getting sacked after the show, by the way. Destiny 2, it's good. It plays really well. I think for me, the thing I did not get on with either Destiny was the whole kind of.
It's very grindy.
Well, it's grindy.
Yeah, I don't like the grinding.
It's grindy, kind of, but also that massive multiplayer kind of vibe to it. Even though they do limit how many characters are within, one server blade, if you will, it still has that vibe. I
play the first one.
I struggle with that stuff. Just because I hate when randoms try and force their way into your game. The getting in front of you, jumping up and down, like invite me.
Look at me. I'm like, get away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was the same problem I had with Fallout 76. So
any game that has a game that has a dance in it, you need to discount straight away. Okay.
This is possibly true.
Apart from G, I don't mind them dancing all in front of me in the lobby, but I'm happy to blow their heads off when I get straight into the game.
That's different. Very different, and I like that. Yeah, I'm with you, Pete. All right. Gary's being distracted by small children. We can allow for that. So I will take over Gary's duties because, let's face it, he was kind of shit at it anyway. Everwild was next. We're down to the last couple games here. So Everwild, this is Rare's new big game. Nobody knows what this game is.
No, but it looks pretty.
It looks gorgeous. I will say every time I see Everwild, I look at the hair, and even though it's kind of hand-drawn assets, no. But the hair just has such a great movement to it. Not like Pete's. Pete has a great movement too, but anyway.
No, it reminds me of her. When I say Ginger, the character, the girl, it seems to be she looks like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
I guess.
So
I don't know.
She
I
needs
don't
to be
see
a
that.
Ginger. So if she was Ginger, you would see it. Yeah.
Gary, did you by chance have you seen anything from Everwild?
I didn't catch that trailer, no. And I apologize. My daughter
No,
just got home.
Don't apologize. I mean, Pete's just told us to fuck off. He wasn't going to watch anything, so it's okay. He's like, I haven't seen the show yet, and I'm like, here's the link. He's like, fuck you, I'm not watching the show.
Yeah,
So,
it was me playing
I did do
clips
some
of it
homework
all.
beforehand.
Yes.
I watched a couple of trailers.
I
I found an
get-
article on The Verge.
yeah, for me, Everwild kind of screams a little bit of a Zelda vibe to it. Although this last trailer, the original one, really gave me Zelda vibes. This one, maybe not so much. I honestly still don't have any idea what this game is, but I want to see more. It looks gorgeous.
Is that the trailer Robin's showing now?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bambi?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
It doesn't look
Yeah.
like my kind of game.
No.
Oh,
it-
whatever. Is that an emu or is that Bambi? I'm not sure.
We don't know. We don't know. It could be bamboo.
Bamboo.
All right.
This is
next
fun. This is a
up.
surprise. I like this.
Yeah, this is surprising me on multiple fronts. So Gary, I've already fired you, by the way, so don't worry
All
about
right,
it.
you're on. You're finishing
Yeah.
it?
Yep, I'm gonna finish it strong. Crossfire X. So what is this game? Because apparently
I know.
it's the biggest game in the world, and yet I've never heard of it. But it's super big in like China and Korea.
China.
So I played the multiplayer on this, the beta they had. Not for me, and I think Phil played it also. He didn't really care for it. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played, but it definitely didn't inspire me to say, God, I can't wait to play this again. Unlike, say, when I originally played Call of Duty in that beta when they launched that out, and I was like, holy crap, this is, if you ever wanted to say a Halo killer, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the Halo killer. This game is not that.
So what was this then? It looks like there's a lot of cutscenes, but I don't know whether it's part. Yeah.
This is the crazy part. So Remedy Software is making a single player game specifically for Crossfire X.
Okay, and Pete,
That's what they showed off.
That's Quantum Break and Alan Wake, people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
These are the guys
And it
behind
looks
that.
a little like Crisis thrown in there because you got the guy
Oh,
with the
good.
fancy suit and all that.
Yeah.
You know,
Good pull,
it's
Yeah. And
it's strange.
I want to see more.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for all the confusion and whatever the hell it is, it does look kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
So,
But one little asterisk to point out for this, but at the beginning of the show, we said all of these games are going to be on Game Pass. For Crossfire X, the multiplayer will be on Game Pass. The single player, they did say, is a standalone purchase. So that is not going to be included on Game
Wow.
Pass.
it says, it says so. It is,
Yeah.
but it is that model. It's a free to play game.
Right.
Multiplayer. There was a banner came up on the bottom of the screen. There it is. There now. Crossfire multiplayer is free to play. Xbox Live Gold is required. Single player not in Xbox Game Pass. In brackets sold separately.
Yeah. But for everything I saw right there,
That looks good.
depending upon the price,
Yeah.
it looks really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I like Remedy. I like their work, so I'm down. And then the game that
Should we
everybody
let Kim
knew was
announce
coming.
it?
Yeah, everybody knew Kim. This was the worst, best kept secret. Your most anticipated game, maybe.
right, yep,
Yeah.
I'd say
And that is
that is Fable.
yes.
Who'd have
No.
thunk, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just got a trailer, but it had the humor. It had
It
had
did.
all of what you wanted from Fable.
What do you
Let's
call
just say Hable.
what do you call
Halo.
the narrator in real world? Pete, he does the IQ thing, that the quiz game on Channel 4. He narrates. He was in Blackadder. He was in, what's his name? Very posh.
Hinton.
Sorry.
Who?
And yeah, him. Yeah, we're all idiots right now, but this fantastic
Posh
look.
British guy.
Yeah, who sounds like
Yeah.
John Cleese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Mark.
very, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what I like though, and I'm hoping, is they seem like they have a different art style than the original Fable games.
A little bit, yeah.
Seems a little more photorealistic. And also there were rumors, people like, oh, it's rumored it's going to be an MMO. They have flatly come out and said that is not true. It is a single player focus game. Single player RPG focused game. It may have co-op in it, like the originals, but I think we can rest assured they're going for Fable and not Fable 4,
Stephen
This is
Fry. Sorry, Stephen Fry.
Okay.
That's the narrator.
Fair enough.
Very, very
We
good dude.
would never have been able to sleep without that. Thank you, Robin. No, but so like Forza, like Halo, this is not a numbered sequel. They are resetting the stage for Fable, which I love. So all of the previous stuff doesn't count.
There's a lovely humor. So the little fairy was flying around the place. It was great. And then a frog grabs it and eats it. This cute little fairy girl. And just the humor's there. So hopefully there'll be chickens in it because I like to kick chickens.
Well, yes, because I mean you got to kick the chickens. Yeah. So chicken kickers. Yeah.
Kim, the question is, can you get an STD again?
What?
You know what though? I never got one.
Oh, stop it! Of course you did.
No, seriously. No, I bought the fuck out of condoms. So there was no STDs for me. So
who was that got so bad? Was it Nicole or was it Ed?
Might have been. I don't know.
I know Ed got it.
Oh, surely not Ed. No. But no, anytime anybody was selling condoms, I bought those little suckers up. So I don't know how many I had by the time the game was over, or the time I stopped playing it anyway. But I had enough. So which is probably good.
Game world advice and real world advice from Kim Woods. Thank you.
Yep.
So Phil Spencer came along at the end of this or during this to say, do you know what? This is just a taster. We didn't show all of our big companies. We didn't show all of the games. We have tons more to speak about, which is really cool. So yeah.
Yep.
They're starting this generation off really well. If they get the price point right.
I mean, that is the big elephant that, I mean, Sony and Microsoft both, it seems like right now they're like, you go first. No, you go first. You go first.
I'll be frank.
So
no, let me be frank. No, I'll be frank. Let me be frank.
Now the rumors are there's going to be a Sony event the first week of August. They have to announce price in August. I mean, this is the next conference for either company will be a price announcement. So it can't go beyond that.
How about this line of thought? As a PC gamer myself, and two new consoles coming out, and most of Xbox games being on PC, to me, it would make most sense to get a PlayStation because those are the exclusives that I wouldn't be able to play on my PC. And I don't know if I'm surprised they really stick in that. I mean, I'm so happy they are, but it's just a little surprising always that they really do stick to that model. And I mean, as a gamer, that's great, right? But it's interesting.
They're different business models. At the end of the day, Microsoft is a software services company. That is Microsoft as a whole. So while they make hardware, that is not their main thing. Sony is
they're killing it with this software. The Game Pass, the extra Game Passes, and all that stuff now. That's their new console.
Well, and that is it.
Right?
Microsoft, their approach, absolutely, you're right. It is, we want you on Game Pass. We don't care how you get on Game Pass. We just want you on Game Pass. We didn't get the big announcement I think a lot of people were expecting to hear of, Xbox Live Gold is done. That still could happen, because they've made some curious moves around Xbox Live Gold and all of that stuff. Price is going to be really interesting to watch on this one because, as you noted, Gary, Microsoft is all about the Game Pass stuff. Sony is definitely about moving hardware. And so how comfortable is Sony that they're going to be able to be on top? I think they still feel pretty comfortable. They're going to sell, and be the king.
They do sound pretty cocky.
I wouldn't say cocky at this point. I just think comfortable is the right way to frame it.
Right.
I haven't seen cocky come from them, but yeah.
My son, who has an Xbox and all his friends have it, he's came out and told me, he's like, I think we're going to get a PlayStation next.
Yeah.
He's going when they're going to college. And I said, really? He goes, well, yeah. He said, he says, I have to get my friends to do it too, which is interesting, right?
Yeah, no. And so you've got the hardware. We need prices. We need launch dates. Actually, we don't know when these consoles are coming either. So I think all of that that has to happen next. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody think? Robin, Pete, do you guys think they possibly could delay this any further out?
I think they've missed that window now. They had the opportunity to say, do you know what? We're let Sony and Microsoft, let's sit down in a coffee shop and decide, we can't do that. Let's meet in a park and discuss PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox. Let's delay this for a year because COVID, Wu flu, China flu, China.
China flu.
That didn't happen.
You know, but they had the opportunity if they both came together and said, look, this is not the opportune time. The teams are not fully here. We're not at 100% capacity. We're going to push this back by 6 months. I don't think anybody would have batted an eyelid.
I agree with you. However, I think they saw their earnings reports. Both companies basically saw all the money they're making through all this crap, and they're like, holy shit, these things are going to sell like hotcakes. So, no, we don't delay. We move forward. Even if our lineups necessarily aren't ready, we move forward. Pete, what do you think?
I think it's a given that it's going to be out prior Christmas. Like Robin said, that they would have announced it by now if there was going to be any delay. The way the market is, they'd be stupid not to. But at the same time, I was thinking the other day, do I just hold back and wait for the price drop? I've got an Xbox One X. I could play pretty much everything anyway. I'm not massively into 4K graphics and all of the tech. I just want to play the game for what it is. So right. I'm just thinking, do I hold back and just wait for all the price drop? So there might be the same. There might be people like me that are just thinking the same thing, where they just want to hold back and they've got a decent kit, piece of kit anyway. And should we just wait until we can shave maybe £150 off a console and maybe not miss out too much on what comes out? I don't know, but I think it'll definitely be out before Christmas, I would say.
I agree.
Kim, are all the horses in the stable? Are we okay over there?
Oh yeah. That's just my brother. He's coming down to pick up some stuff. So.
I'm just getting a little worried there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I see a lot of the arms going like this. So.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good.
Okay, let's get this finished. Good stuff. Do you know what? It was a good show. It was great. I thought it was refreshing. The pacing was good. There wasn't too much boring old chat. We've seen some good stuff, and it was interesting. And they've left us wanting more. So it's not the perfect conference, the perfect thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of Microsoft's best conferences they put on in the past probably 4 years. I legitimately think the pacing, with the exception of the Hellblade moment, that was the real lull out of all of them.
Why did you say
it was really good. Because they didn't really show anything. They just said, they pulled an EA. To be perfectly honest, they pulled an EA and they said, we don't really have anything we're going to talk to and show you. We're just going to talk about the development process right now. And, we have a vid doc talking about the locations that we picked. It was just kind of a moment. Outside of that, I thought the conference was fantastic. So I think they did what they needed to do. Could it have been better? Sure. I think they could have improved a couple spots here and there. I don't think it was perfect, but
it was better than that last one they did. Although I didn't think that was that bad either, but
no, I think the expectations were better set this time and they delivered better this time, especially I think just production value. There was no crappy cameras. There was no, bad connection stuff here. It
our podcast.
Yes, absolutely. This was a well-produced, like our podcast, well-produced show. All right. Any last comments? Also in the chat, obviously, if you guys think anything differently, we'd love to see that. Gary's got his dog. He's petting. Kim's got
Can you see him?
Cat. I see a dog head and a cat tail. There you go. Pete, Pete, are you petting anything at the moment?
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Well, it wasn't. Never mind. I'll shut up.
All right. Let's get on with it. Let's finish it up. Kim, actually, this is your moment to shine. Let's talk about the games coming up.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. We still got to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
we
thinking
have that.
we're like freaking over, but no.
Yeah. Lots of stuff coming.
Right. All right. Hold on just a second. I'm like ready for the show. I'm thinking the show's over. I'm like, no, wait, we haven't done that yet. Whoops. I'm slacking. All right, we have your new releases for now to the 3rd of August. We have Ageless for the Switch and PC on the 28th. Destroy All Humans for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC for the 28th as well. Grounded for the Xbox One and PC on the 28th. Maid of Sker for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on the 28th. Other Side for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC also the 28th. Pistol Whip for the PlayStation VR for July 28th. Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch on the 28th as well. Skater XL for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on the 28th. Boy, there's a lot of things coming out on the 28th. Terrarium for the PC, which is out on the 28th. Blightbound for the PC on the 29th. Hellpoint for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, Mac, and Linux on the 30th. Liberated for the PC on the 30th. Yakuza Kiwami 2 for the Xbox One on the 30th. Ooh, Castle Storm 2 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 31st. And we have Fae Tactics also for the PC on the 31st. Is that the last one? Oh, no, we got a couple more. Fairy Tale, yeah, right. Fairy Tale for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on the 31st. And Monster Crown for the PC on the 31st as well. And those are your new releases.
Fantastic. If we can go fast, if we could wrap this show up, and Gary would not even know we were gone.
Right?
No, too late. He's back. All right, Robin.
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
Hey, victory's achieved, Robin.
Victories achieved is this fantastic thing that you actually, all these games that we're talking about, that you, when you finish them, we actually give you money. And money is important, because if you don't have money, you can't buy games. So if you can't buy games, well,
it's true.
That's bad. So having to buy games is an important thing. And you go to these conferences to buy games, and we talk about games. But anyway, when you finish one of those games, you take a selfie with the credits in the background going whoosh behind you, and you tweet that off to @OC_podcast with a hashtag victory achieved, and you'll get a shout out and a chicken on your head, and or maybe even a cucumber or some origami. I don't know, some small little thing. See. You can send me right now. Anyway, you get in the draw. We'll draw it out, and you'll win £15 or $20, and you'll get a bottle of milk, and you'll be able to spend it on PSN or XBL or Steam or Nintendo or wherever you want to spend your money, even on Stadia. And people that finished games this week are Legit Chinny. He finished Alan Wake. Infected Spike. He finished Quantum Break. From the same family, Caliburn M finished Dark Souls 3, and the Legit Chinny.
Wow.
He also finished Resident Evil 3, all from the same sort of genre of games, which is kind of cool. So for now, your name is entered in the hat. We will draw the draw, and the next one will be done at the end of September. And but for now, for finishing your games, you get this.
All have a victories achieved. Victories achieved. You have one. A victories achieved.
Greg, what are you drinking?
This would be Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
Yes.
How hard is it?
Black cherry.
Great choice for before going to the gym.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The good news is the gym is in my garage, so I don't have to drive anywhere for it. But yeah.
And you might delay it now.
No, I won't. I'll still get out there. All right. Thank you, Robin, for that. Thank you, kids. This has been fun. Look, if you're listening to this right now, it's because you're a glutton for punishment. But we appreciate that. We are on every weekend, so catch us next week. We're here. We will put this podcast out on, obviously, Twitch and YouTube, but we'll also post it up on Facebook. We'll put it in your favorite podcast. We will we're not going to do much more than that. That's pretty much all we're going to do. But we will say some nice things to people from around the world, our friends, with shout outs. So let's shout some people out. Pete.
Well, I haven't got anybody on mine, but
oh, thanks for that, Pete.
Wow.
That just totally ruined my whole thing.
Hey. But you know what I'm like with catching up with my WhatsApp chat, and I saw I saw Robin's news today. I don't know when you put it in about the young little girl that you look after, and that whole show, we were so gutted to hear that. I want to shout out you and your wife and all of the hard work that you put into the children.
Which one? Which wife? Which one?
Oh. You and Judith.
Oh, okay.
Stop being so naughty. So when I heard that, and I told Joe, it was really gutted because we like all the pictures and little videos you send, and it's like this little journey that we're kind of following of this young girl, and it was really sad to hear that. So sorry, mate.
Well, thanks. Thanks. Well, it wasn't meant to be.
No.
But at least she gets to spend some more time with a great family.
Yeah. Who's that again? Yeah, thanks, mate. Thank you. Thank you, Pete.
I'm going to put it to Kim.
Oh, I don't know if I can follow that one. I'm going to shout out our shatters. We've got Hardly Dan, Drury Fiery, Nerd Allegiance, Rob VTS, and Scott Stubby. So thanks, fellas, for stopping by and chatting with us. Shout out to you guys. I know I've been gone a couple of weeks, and apparently I'm a slacker. So, miss a couple of shows, you get branded a fucking slacker. Go figure. See how it is. Anyway, it's fun. Gary finally showed up. So that's
Speaking of slackers, come on. You're fine, Kim. You could take off for 2 months. You'll be all right.
It's
right,
true.
right. So, other than that, everybody have a good week. You want to chat about, Fable or horse getting out at 1:30 or, Fable STDs. No, maybe not that one. You can find me on Twitter. I'm GamerGirl27, same as Xbox. PlayStation's GamerGirl GURL_27. So how about you there, Gary?
Well, speaking of Fable STDs, Hardly Dan put in the chat that he got one from his wife in Fable 3. So
I'm glad
she
you
was a cheap
qualified that
bitch
in Fable 3.
But I'll shout you guys out. I really appreciate you allowing me to get back on here and being patient as my life cycles around me in complete bedlam. As you can see behind me, it just doesn't stop. But thank you, and thank you, listeners. Robin, throw it over to you, brother. Shout him out.
I want to shout Mark. Hang in there, buddy. You'll be all right.
For sure.
Gary Amrath, I believe you're on the road to recovery. Hopefully you are. I know you got some work ahead of you, but come on, get the fucking ass up. Come on, we're fucking fed up being all sympathetic for Gary. Oh, Gary's almost dead. Oh, Gary almost died. Oh my goodness, he's on death's door. Jesus, Gary, get up.
This doesn't age well.
The sympathy has ran out completely, mate. It really has. So get your ass back on the Flippin' Games Man podcast and get going again. Just almost being dead is no excuse, okay? Get your friggin' ass back together. Also, I was at a thing this week and I bumped into Tom Jones, or I should say Sir Tom Jones. Really nice guy, nice fella. So just a shout out to Tom. I know he's listening. And that's me. Greg, take us home.
All right. Yeah, no, I will echo the comments from Robin around Mark. Absolutely hope things go well. Also, Gary, it's time. Get your ass in gear. Let's go, Gary. Come on. Time. Road to recovery. Let's get off the pity train, okay? We love you. It's enough, though. Also, I need to shout out Robin and Judith. Much like Pete said, I have never seen a couple try harder to give away a cute child, and they really struggle with this. I have suggested numerous times, just drop it off at the orphanage, but they have not taken the bait so far. They are letting her stay under their roof, although he did clean out the chicken coop, so maybe, maybe, she's going to be put up there. I don't know. Anyway, listeners, thank you so much. We love all of you. We appreciate everybody being on the show, including our guest, Gary DeFelice. Thank you for that. And, let's go football. Come on. NHL? Yeah.
Yes.
NBA? Don't care. Baseball? Hey, Padres. That's a positive.
Did they play yet? Did they win? Wow.
I know. All right. Robin, spin it up.
See you guys.
Thanks for
watching, listening.
Connection podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
See you same time next week.